Good afternoon, welcome to Euro 2024 Live. Match day 2 in Euro 2024 Group C brings a repeat of the semi-final from Euro 2020 as Denmark take on England at the Frankfurt Arena. England prevailed after extra time in that semi-final 3 years ago and have held the upper hand in their previous meetings against the Danes. Gareth Southgate's side also made a positive start to the Euro 2024 campaign. Jude Bellingham's goal, the only goal in their win against Serbia after 13 minutes in Schalke on June the 16th. Denmark had also looked set off to kick off Group C with a win thanks to Christian Eriksen's 17th minute opener against Slovenia, but they ultimately had to settle for a 1-1 draw after conceding 13 minutes before full time. So England know they can secure top spot and qualification to the round of 16 with a win. Denmark maybe need a bit of a rescue job here on match day 2. The national anthem's underway. There's some royal attendance at the Frankfurt Arena. The English Prince of Wales, quite ironic that, the Prince of Wales, the Prince William, and of course the Danish King is in attendance. So there's royalty from both countries watching on here this evening. Let's have a look at the two teams then tonight, and just the one change for Denmark from that 1-0 or 1-1 draw with Slovenia on match day 1. Their keeper remains in goal, Kasper Schmeichel, the captain. The only change is Joachim Mæhle, who comes in at right back for Alexander Ba. A back three of Joachim Andersen, Andreas Christensen and Jannik Vestergaard continues, and Victor Christiansen, the left wing back. Morten Hjulmand and Pierre-Emil Højbjerg continue in midfield with the same front three who all combined for that goal that gave Denmark the lead on match day 1. Christian Eriksen, the finisher, set up by Jonas Vind and Rasmus Højlund, who won the throw-in for that opener. 14 on the bench: Ronno, Hermansen, Kjær, Christensen, Zanka, Ba, Norgard, Damsgaard, Larsen, Jensen, Olsen, Poulsen, Dolberg and Dreyer on the bench. England unchanged from their 1-0 win against Serbia, looking to build on that very solid performance against them, and that one goal from Jude Bellingham securing the 3 points. Jordan Pickford continues in goal. Kyle Walker, John Stones, Mark Guehi and Kieran Trippier enter in an unchanged defence. Declan Rice and Trent Alexander-Arnold continue at double pivot in midfield. Bukayo Saka off the right, Bellingham through the middle in midfield, and Phil Foden off the left, with Harry Kane, the captain, leading the line, who hasn't scored in any of his 7 previous European Championships appearances. The bench for England: Henderson, Ramsdale, Dunk, Konsa, Gomez, Mainu, Palmer, Eze, Bowen, Wharton, Gallagher, Tony, Watkins and Gordon. Interestingly enough, Luke Shaw was on the bench against Serbia, not on the bench here this evening, which would be a worry for England because Kieran Trippier, at the moment, their only left back out and out to start. Gomez can play there, other players can play there, but that would be a worry if Kieran Trippier gets injured, which it looked very difficult for him on match day 1. He had a bit of a scare. Well, we've already seen one game in Group C already this afternoon. That was Slovenia against Serbia. Slovenia back-to-back 1-1 draws in their opening 2 games. They were on course for a 1-0 victory, barring that late goal by Serbia to level things in the 95th minute. Luka Jovic from a corner, heading home to get Serbia's first points of the group stages. Slovenia, they could have went top of the group before kick-off here if they'd held on to that one goal that they took the lead with, Zanik Karničnik giving them the lead after 69 minutes, but they couldn't hold on, Slovenia, to get the 3 points in that one in Munich. So England have the chance now with all the other teams a good distance away from them. If they win here this evening, England, they will qualify top of the group and will confirm to have will play the third place team in either Group D, E or F in the round of 16 to come on the 29th of June. It will be a moment of applause for Gerhard Allner, the UEFA General Secretary, who has passed away. In a moment of applause here at the Frankfurt Arena to pay our respects to one of UEFA's most notable officials. Right, down to business then. 2 games to come for you. This is the first of 2 for you this evening. We have Spain against Italy in Group B to come for you a bit later, and we'll talk about Group B when that gets underway. But Group C is our concern at the moment. We've already seen a draw earlier today. England, they want to secure the round of 16 and top spot with a game to spare. Denmark need a bit of a rescue job and probably need to win this one as we get underway here in Frankfurt for this England's second game. A lot of criticism, a lot of arguing over whether England's performance was a well-fought win or a pretty lacklustre outcome of a result in the end against Serbia. With that Jude Bellingham goal, the only goal in the game, as that was a good idea from Højbjerg there, but straight into Jordan Pickford's hands. All that talk about whether England's performance was good enough on match day 1, but as we said at the time, not many of the big teams had a really dominant and fantastic performance in match day 1. Germany and Spain, probably the only 2 that really showed true quality in their opening games. Other than that, a lot of the big teams struggled in those opening games. Christiansen finds Højlund through the lines, and Højlund trying to play it back in the midfield, closed down as Kane gives it out to Saka. Saka, who in that first half against Serbia was running the show down that right hand side. He had a bit more of a struggle in the second half against the Serbs, but he will be the big threat for England here this afternoon against the Denmark side, who put in a pretty lacklustre second half against Slovenia on match day 1. They were completely dominant in the first half, and that's where the similarities of both of these 2 teams coming into this one. They both had very dominant first halves against their oppositions on match day 1 and really struggled in the second half. The opponents came to grips with how they were attacking. The only difference is England held on for a result and Denmark conceded. Walker's cross there, cleared away. England take the quick throw. Alexander-Arnold, Stones, Saka down the right hand side. Denmark looking to crowd him out early on. Make sure he doesn't have that space down the right hand side to exploit. So, not a great pass by Rice there, and Alexander-Arnold just has to rescue that one. Back to Pickford as he goes for the long diagonal out to the left hand side. Phil Foden was the target. Finds its way back to Trippier. Rice around the corner. Back it comes to Stones. Through the lines, finds Rice. Back to Mark Guehi, who made his competitive major tournament debut for England on match day 1. Mark Guehi, and John Stones had a lot of words of praise for his centre-back partner just before the game. This game earlier this evening. Said he didn't look nervous. He might have been nervous, but he didn't show it in the game. Mark Guehi, and it's high praise from a very experienced England centre-back. Here is Mark Guehi, Crystal Palace player. Finds Declan Rice. Trippier. England just trying to get a few touches on the ball, not flying forward too early, but fullback to fullback there. As that one goes over the head of Walker, and out for the throw-in to Denmark. Trippier tried to switch it across. Walker was in a good bit of space, but just overhit that one. Goes out for the Danish throw, but a good spell of possession there from a minute or two from England. Calm on the ball, not getting it forward. very much there. It was more sidewards passing, but that's what you need at times. Just have that calm start, get a bit of comfort on the ball, take a few touches, grow into the game that way, not come out bursting. As Denmark go for the early cross. It's Mæhle that time. Mæhle, who gave away the penalty in the semi-final at Euro 2020 that gave England the win in the end at extra time. Harry Kane scoring the rebound after Kasper Schmeichel saved the penalty initially. Revenge could be what Denmark want to get, although 3.5 years ago certainly would not be in their memories. Here's Christiansen for Denmark. Højbjerg, now Eriksen. Squares it across, finds Hjulmand in space. Trying to squeeze it through to Jonas Vind there, but closed down well. Foden, back to Stones. Kyle Walker now. Strong, compact defending there from England to close down the spaces. The Danish forwards, Højlund and Vind, were given quite a lot of space against Slovenia in that first half and were allowed to make those runs in behind, something England will have to be wary of. See how they defend those positions, as that's a poor pass by Walker. Straight picked up by Højbjerg. Eriksen. Bit short there from Eriksen to Christiansen, and Walker got in the way and will get England the throw. Well, there's always a big stat that comes out before the game, before England play, and the one in the first one was they've only won one previous opening game at the European Championships. The big one before this game was they've never won their first 2 games at the European Championships ever, England. But Gareth Southgate's side so far in these under his tenure have broken many records for England. This might be another one they'll be targeting. John Stones breaks down the right hand side. Walker has the space, just chops back on himself, finds Alexander-Arnold. Rice. All the talk about Alexander-Arnold before this game, about how he was up and down in that first match and did get caught on the ball once or twice against Serbia, but was his first major game in that role for England, in a double pivot with Declan Rice, more central. Did make some good passes in that one, had a very good shot on target in that first game, Trent Alexander-Arnold. But many England fans and critics have said, how will he do against the better oppositions, the better midfields? And we'll see here this evening how he performs against a decently strong midfield from Denmark that I thought, and I said in that game again, they played against Slovenia, I didn't think Denmark's midfield really showed up that day. Højbjerg and Hjulmand just didn't impose themselves enough, more in the wide areas where Denmark found their advantages in that first game. Here's Højbjerg, who can switch it out to the right hand side. It's a lovely ball, taken in nicely by Joachim Mæhle, but just stretching to keep the ball and ultimately committing the foul on Kieran Trippier, which will give England the free kick. Just seeing it again, he keeps it in play nicely there, Joachim Mæhle, and then he stretches to win the ball and just clips the right foot of Kieran Trippier there. And England get a bit of a breather on that one. There's a sea of red behind that goal. A lot of red, a lot of those Danish flags. There's an issue here, which isn't a good thing for England. Talked about how their left back would be a worry if they lost him. I mean, they've a hatful of right backs, and that could be a worry. Kyle Walker's just gone down here at the moment, so he's going to receive treatment. Bit innocuous, and it doesn't look particularly good from Kyle Walker. Oh, he just went over on his left ankle there as he put a cross in a bit earlier. Just went sliding over. Oh, would be very painful, that. Kyle Walker. He is okay. Back to his feet. He's going to change his boots. Were damaged in that moment, so he will be okay to continue. Still on the sidelines, just getting his boots sorted as Pickford knocks long. Good header won by Anderson. Brought down by Eriksson in midfield. Now Højbjerg. Vind. Back to Mæhle. And now here's Vestergaard. To Pierre-Emil Højbjerg. Threaded through the lines nicely. Jonas Vind. Hjulmand tried to find the pass to Højlund. Just a bit wayward that. And England getting back on it. But Bellingham having no room to get forward. Has to come back to Mark Guehi to keep the English possession. Bellingham. Now Walker. He's back on the pitch. Switch ball by Jude Bellingham. Out it goes. Trippier was the target. Just over the head of Trippier, but he'll get the second ball. Brought down by Foden. Alexander-Arnold. 10 minutes gone. Denmark 0, England 0. England controlling the ball in the early moments. Passing it around. Here's Bukayo Saka. Makes the run against Christensen. Linking up well with Bellingham, who felt he was fouled there. The referee saw nothing wrong with that one. And Højbjerg's just going to put the ball out of play. Make sure Bellingham is okay. He's stripped back to his feet. There should be no worries there about that one. Jude Bellingham complaining to the referee. He felt he was fouled. I'll just say it again. I mean, Højbjerg does step across, but Bellingham, it's a fair challenge to make from Højbjerg there. It's not a foul. It's been calm possession. It's probably been the key word, the key phrase of these opening minutes. As Højlund made the run in behind, and the ball was lovely. And Guehi did work well, but the flag was up anyway against the Danish number 9. Really nice ball over the top of the defence, and maybe just offside. It's very close, that one. Guehi did very well at holding him off and getting the ball back for England. Here's Walker. Alexander-Arnold. Given the time and space. Going to switch it out. Chested down by Trippier. Lifted into the box it comes. Bellingham. Finds his way into the penalty area for probably the first time of the evening. Trippier. Bellingham. Foden. Stones, nice to work it out to the right hand side. Walker now. Saka. Back to Kyle Walker. Alexander-Arnold. England passing it around the edge of the Danish box at the moment. Waiting for an opening. Rice. Down the right to Walker again. Walker looks to go for the low cross. Cut back to Foden. Chopped back nicely. Phil Foden. High and wide there. Had a very good opportunity. Frustration from the Manchester City man. Really good ball by Walker. Chopped back nicely, Foden. Away from his man and tried to find the top corner. Just didn't catch it the way he would have wanted to. Just opened his leg up too much and telegraphed it wide there. Good opportunity for Foden. And all the conversation, the big talk about Phil Foden, how people felt that he got a lot of criticism for his performance in the first game. He wasn't really making a major impact, but he was kind of isolated more on that left channel. And England really targeted the right-hand side, didn't want to target down the left. Foden tried to play the inside channel. It didn't really work in the first game. But we could see there he was more where we see him for Manchester City, arriving at the edge of the box, edge of the D, the more central areas where he's more potent and much more of a threat. And that's the exact example of it there. That chance for England is where Phil Foden needs to be and where he should be for England to get the very best out of him. Saka there felt it was shoved out of play. Looked like it was a bit of a shove, but the officials didn't see anything wrong with it as Denmark get the throw. Højbjerg. Eriksen. Back to Andreas Christensen. Vestergaard. Maybe a bit of a switch in the back three from Denmark. Looks like they've switched Christensen and Vestergaard. Vestergaard was playing left centre-back against Slovenia. It's Christensen that's playing there, and they've just swapped. Vestergaard's playing the middle of a back three. Here he is, Yannick Vestergaard. Trying to spread out to the left-hand side to find Christensen. Well closed down by Kyle Walker. Trying to link it up with Saka. He will get the throw in there. Good defending by Højbjerg there. Just to notice the chance and just put it out of play. Allow Denmark to recover. Get back a bit deeper. Walker to take this throw. 15 gone in Frankfurt. Still goalless. Been a pretty low-key first 15. Phil Foden's opportunity, the best of the game so far. Stones. Alexander-Arnold. Going for that long ball again, but maybe a bit forced that time from the Liverpool man. As Denmark win the ball back again. Vestergaard. Christensen. I have to say the central areas have been very kind of compacted from both teams out of possession. When England get the ball, there's not much space to play it in the middle, and same with Denmark. When they get the ball, they're more targeting the wide areas. Although that's poor. Given away there from Hjulmand. Rice. Now Harry Kane to take the shot. Blocked by that was Anderson that got the deflection, or the block in there to stop the Kane shot from finding a way through. That was good pressure from England. Poor ball by Hjulmand in the middle, and it's great work from Declan Rice. Just to press upon that position and get the ball back in a high area. Pickford maybe a bit panicking his pass there. Just Stones, just a bit off target. Walker. Stones. The left-hand side. Trippier. Foden. Alexander-Arnold just to keep English possession at the moment. Guehi. Out to Kyle Walker. Saka. Trying to go for the 1-2 with Bellingham. Christensen completely unsighted and finds Kyle Walker here. Walker with a cutback. Harry Kane with a tap in. Terrible defending from Denmark, and England take the advantage. Harry Kane. Empty net of the back post. They just tap it in past Kasper Schmeichel to give England the early advantage. Wonderful from England's captain. It was great from Kyle Walker. The 1-2 from Bellingham and Saka didn't work out. And Victor Christensen, completely in another planet there, just marauding back to into his own half, has no idea that Kyle Walker is coming down the right-hand side. Fantastic from Kyle Walker. Christensen just, he's dilly-dallying on the ball. And Walker just gets the cut back. It takes a few deflections in there. It finds its way to Harry Kane, who's in the right place at the right time. They just tap it in for England into an empty net. No chance for Schmeichel. Terrible from Victor Christensen, who has the ball taken right from under his nose by Kyle Walker. And Harry Kane the finisher, as so often for England. And Kane there. Right place, right time. Denmark 0, England 1. And there we are. That's what you have to do. Take your advantage when you're given it. And Denmark gifting England a major opportunity down the right-hand side. They didn't recover. They didn't get back in time. And Harry Kane was there to take the huge advantage and give England the early lead. Which, as it stands, although we don't want to say as it stands, we don't want to preempt things because this Euros is so unpredictable. But as it stands, England will top the group and qualify for the round of 16. Or the other way about. They'll qualify for the round of 16, top of the group tonight. As they would find themselves 4 points ahead of Slovenia in second, 5 ahead of both Denmark and Serbia. But a long way to go yet, though. And England took an early lead against Serbia and really kind of dwindled as the game went on. And Serbia couldn't take advantage. We'll see how England deal with taking the lead here this evening. Let's see if they have learnt from that first game. First goal's great. The second goal is even more crucial. They just settle the game more. But here come Denmark to try and respond. Müller. Højbjerg. Back to Joachim Andersen. To Hjulmand. Back to Gerhi. Not Gerhi, wrong number, wrong country. Christensen. Oh, why I said Gerhi there. Here's Müller, trying to make the run in field. Hjulmand there to battle back, and the ball's found its way into the box here. Müller was battling. Trippier did do well to clear his lines, but the flag was going to go up anyway against Joachim Müller. Was in an offside position when Hjulmand's ball found its way into the box. So, free kick to England. The pitch is absolutely crumbling under the feet of the players. Studs are really ripping up the surface here. Which could add a different aspect to the game. Who knows? Hjulmand. Wide on the right hand side to Müller. Back to Hjulmand. Müller looking for the cross. Blocked off by Trippier, out for the Danish throw on the right hand side. England fans singing along. Happy for the moment. It's a real battle down the right hand side here. Hjulmand doing well to keep the ball and just goes out of play for a throw. Bellingham there involved to get the ball away. Christian Eriksen. Müller. Vind. Back to Eriksen. Trying to eke his way through. Here is Christian Eriksen, who's found the breakthrough, but blocked off that time his shot by Stones. Back it comes. Still not away. Christiansen tried to cross. Blocked again. Denmark starting to respond well. Going behind. Victor Christiansen, who gave the ball away in the lead up to the England goal. Took the throw in there, but on the return ball from Højbjerg, just couldn't keep it in play. The Danish left wing back. Yeah, it's terrible. It's really bad for Victor Christiansen. Just seeing it again. It's Bellingham trying to play it through to Saka. The ball just beats past Saka, and Christiansen thinks just it's going to be easy this. Just take the ball and calm the game down. But he does not really. Doesn't look over his shoulder to see if there's anybody chasing him. And Kyle Walker's right on his toes. Nicks it from under his nose and Gets the ball into the box for Harry Kane to finish, but not good enough from Denmark there. Lackluster defending. Here's Christian Eriksen, but they've responded well to going behind here for the moment. Müller, Anderson, Højbjerg, nice combinations, finds Müller. Anderson with a deep cross in. Vind was up, but header could only be found the ground and bounced back up into the hands of Jordan Pickford, who will gather for England. We haven't seen much of Jonas Vind or Rasmus Højlund early doors here. Not seen much of them in many of the forwards early doors just yet, but long way to go. Rice pings one over the top. A run was in there from Bellingham, but Kasper Schmeichel anticipated it well and gathered comfortably for Denmark. Anderson, 25 gone in Frankfurt. Denmark 0, England 1. Nice work from Anderson. Broke down the right hand side, finding Müller. Anderson's continued that run. As Jonas Vind now comes a bit deeper. Højbjerg. Down the right hand side is Joachim Müller again. Back to Højbjerg. Will try and go for the cross, but almost closed down there by Foden. Back it comes to Anderson, now Vestergaard. Vind coming deeper, finds Christian Eriksen, whose shot was blocked again. Charged down well as Højbjerg comes forward. He felt there was a foul in there, but went down, but the referee saw nothing as England carry the ball away. Saka. Stayed down, Højbjerg. Saka coming forward though, well marshalled. Although it will be a free kick, and a yellow card's going to come out here as well. Henrik Vestergaard's the one that's going to get booked for Denmark for that challenge on Bukayo Saka. Yes, just see Saka, he just steps across him and takes him out there. Stray leg just carries through the back of Bukayo Saka there from Henrik Vestergaard, and can't really complain for being given a yellow card there. The Danish centre-back. Højbjerg is okay. He's back up on his feet. And in position again. We just see this moment again where he felt he was fouled. It was him. Yeah, he takes an extra step, so that's probably why the referee doesn't feel that there's a foul in there, because Foden does clip him, but he takes the extra step and then goes down, which the referee's like, well, it's not a foul because it didn't bring you down. Free kick and over the top, but couldn't be gathered by Mark Guehi. He'd made the run. To see the free kick again, Alexander-Arnold popped the ball over the top and Guehi made the run. Did get a connection to it, but just couldn't force it across. Just went out of play for a goal kick, but better from England there, playing that ball over the top, making it threatening. Højbjerg. Müller. Eriksen. Now Højlund. Back to Eriksen. Better combinations there from Denmark for the moment. Højbjerg. Anderson. Fizzed it across from inside, but Foden couldn't do much in intercepting it. Back to Anderson. Müller. Now Højbjerg in the middle. Højbjerg trying to charge into the box. Does get to the byline. Looks to square it across. And it's kept in. Pickford can't get near it. And it's still alive. And I think it was Alexander-Arnold tracking back that just got it back to his keeper. But Rasmus Højlund, Christian Eriksen were all in there. Højbjerg just pips it past Bellingham. Gets it across the byline and nicked away by Eriksen ahead of Pickford. Pickford comes flying out, trying to grab the ball. Eriksen takes it off him. Chops it across to find Højlund, and good covering by Alexander-Arnold in there. Get a foot in on Højlund and getting it back to his keeper comfortably there, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Good bit of defending. Needed to, as they made it a bit more worrying than it needed to be there from England's point of view. Should have dealt with that situation. It was sneaky from Højbjerg, just that squared across the byline. But that would start to give Denmark a bit more confidence that they can find those moments against England. They'll be confident in their ability. But in game, it will give them confidence even further. How they can try and combat England. As Walker battling with Eriksson. Walker has to go back to John Stones. Now Pickford is Højlund in close proximity. Pickford went long. Kane did bring it down nicely. It's chested by Alexander-Arnold, but crowded out there. Bellingham just couldn't keep it. And now Højbjerg recycles out to the right. Müller. Now Jonas Vind. Back to Joachim Müller. Whips the cross in. Over the head of Pickford. And Bellingham. Or well, Walker and Bellingham were there. And Walker clears it. Saka now. Down the right hand side. A bit open. It's got very open the last few minutes this game. Bit end to end moments. Both sides just trying to get as far away from their goal as possible in that battle. Trying to get forward really quickly, but both attacks breaking down there as Denmark get back on the ball again. 30 minutes gone in Frankfurt. Denmark 0, England 1. Christiansen. Christensen to Vestergaard. Back to Andreas Christensen. Vestergaard. Threaded it through nicely there. Fine. Vind. Squared out to Müller on the right. There's bodies in the middle for him to try and find one. Finds Jonas Vind, edge of the box. Cuts it back for Højbjerg. Now Anderson forcing it through. Jonas Vind with a lovely touch, and Vind takes the strike. It does take a deflection. It will be a corner. Just pops off the roof of the net. Guehi was in with a challenge. See it again. Really nicely worked. And the challenge there, I couldn't see who it was that made the challenge. Maybe it was Alexander-Arnold. The challenge comes in. It falls to Jonas Vind right through the lines in the box, and Mark Guehi getting his body across to deflect the shot over the bar and onto the roof of the net for a corner to Denmark here. And Eriksson will take this one. Right hand side. Lots of height in there for Denmark. The referee is just going to stop this. He's just going to reset the free kicks. Allow them to take it again. He's just sorting a few things out. Walker and Christensen, whatever that's about. Referee just sorting it out. Having a chat with both players, whatever that's about. Who knows? One former Premier League player and one current Premier League player there. Christensen used to play for Chelsea. Eriksson to take the corner then. Get another shot at it. Whips this one in. Headed on by Vestergaard, but the referee had already blown the whistle for a foul in there on an English player, so free kick. It was Yannick Vestergaard that was the one that deemed to have committed the foul. I'll just have to say it again. Referee, I'm not getting the replay, but I've no idea what the foul was for. I was watching the ball. Pickford. I'm going to try and play out here with Rice. To Guehi. Takes a heavy step. Almost puts himself into trouble and rescues it. And just gets a throw in out of it. Jonas Vind there a bit bemused at how he didn't get a free kick for that challenge. And Guehi's having to lay carpet there. The turf came up again. He's just having to lay it down. That's not foul. Oh, shot from distance. Oh, it's in. Wow. Where's that come from? What a hit by Morten Hjulmand. My goodness me. That is sensational. You can't believe it. You just can't believe it. That is incredible. From about 30 yards, Morten Hjulmand has just rocketed one off the inside of the left post, beating Jordan Pickford in the process. And Denmark are back on level terms. From an England throw, they spray it across in the midfield. Morten Hjulmand on the end of it. Lovely. Literally from 30 yards out, he rockets one. That is sensational. Off the inside of the left post. Pickford, full stretch, got nowhere near it. That is top class. Goodness me. That is wonderful from Morten Hjulmand. And that is exactly what Denmark needed in the right moment. And we're back on level terms. 1-1. Comes from an England throw in, a mistake to square the pass right in the midfield, knowing no one was there. Just completely got overhit it. Didn't say it was a hit it, but whoever it was an England player. They just passed it right in the midfield. There was no one there for England to pick it up. They were all sitting on the left sideline because England were taking a throw in, and Denmark tried to close them in. England tried to play it out. There was no one there to pick it up, and Morten Hjulmand got the ball, strode onto it, 30 yards, 1-1. I mean, undone themselves there, England. I mean, it's unbelievable quality. The goal, but to put Denmark in the position to take the shot in the first place. They shouldn't have had the ball to begin with there, Denmark, but that's the quality you can give. That's what we talk about. When you get your chance, you take it, but no one would have been predicting a goal there. That was a wonder strike by Morten Hjulmand, and that will certainly give Denmark much more confidence, belief, and will get them very much up for this now. They reacted really well to going behind. England just, again, they took the lead and they kind of lost their way a bit, England, after they took the lead. They weren't controlling the game. They weren't dominant on the ball. They were misplaying a few passes. Denmark started to get more control in the game and actually felt more comfortable on the ball after they went behind Denmark. And ultimately, their equaliser comes after that good spell of possession and a good spell for Denmark. The last 10-15 minutes. Hjulmand, starman at the moment for Denmark. Kasper Hjulmand, or not Kasper Hjulmand, that's their manager, Morten Hjulmand. Morten Hjulmand, it's his first international goal, his 8th appearance, the 24-year-old, and he opens his account in the most fashionable style ever, with an absolute cracker that will be replayed time and time again. Here he is again, has this shot. Given the opportunity this time as a deflected effort, goes behind for a corner. He's got his shooting boots on today, Morten Hjulmand. Jordan Pickford screaming at his team, every single player he's going at here. He loves one of these a game, Jordan Pickford. Loves to scream at his side, but at the moment they're kind of wobbling a bit, England. Denmark are having more comfort. Corner for Eriksson to take. Right-footed, fizzed into the box. Header on the back post, and Anderson just over the bar. And into the roof of the net. Onto the roof of the net, and out for a goal kick. Good cross, deep cross to the back post. Good effort. Just sailing over the bar there. Well, this was the scoreline that carried these two to extra time at Wembley in 2020. Mikkel Damsgaard's wonderful free kick effort gave Denmark the lead. England equalised through a Simon Kjær own goal 9 minutes later. And it was that result, that scoreline, right till the 90th minute, extra time, before England scored that ultimate winning penalty to carry them through to the final. And it's Denmark ending this half at the moment, the better of the two teams. Here's Joachim Mæhle going for the cross. And it absolutely took a lot of power from that one, from Joachim Mæhle. And it saw it fly well behind for a goal kick. Didn't get the whip on that one. Just seeing that again, that is sensational from Morten Hjulmand. There's no one anywhere near him. And they're all throwing legs out at the England players, but not a single one of them can get anywhere close to that. And that was pure class. We'll talk about that for a long while to come. That could be huge for Denmark. Gets them back in the game, gets them back on terms, and really kind of boosts them as the half goes on. It really gives them that extra confidence in the game. When you score a goal like that, it really does just lift the team. Well, that's lovely dribbling from Foden. In between the lines is what he's capable of. And the shot from the edge of the box was easily gathered by Schmeichel, but the approach play was wonderful from Phil Foden. A solo run, dribbling right up the middle through a few. Good idea. And he did take the shot. Not a awful shot, but a comfortable one enough for Schmeichel to take and gather. So he knocks it long here, Schmeichel, trying to find Højlund. Well marshalled by Guehi and Stones. And Stones who picks it up here for England. 4 minutes or so of the first half to go. And England who started the better once again, as they did against Serbia. This time their dominance ended a bit quicker than it did against Serbia. And Denmark taking the advantage to get back on level terms just before half time. Could be crucial. And despite only having one draw in all of our games in match day 1, we've now had three of the last 4 results. 3 of the 4 results from match day 2 so far have all been draws. The only win so far in match day 2 was Germany's 2-0 win against Hungary. Croatia and Albania drew 2-2. Scotland, Switzerland 1-1. And of course, Slovenia, Serbia earlier this afternoon was a 1-1 draw. And it's 1-1 here. So certainly showing a lot of a tighter outcome of games in match day 2 so far. Not closer. Here's Foden. Lifts one in, but goes all the way through. Saka was the only one in there for England, and it just bounced past Saka in the box, and we'll go for a goal kick. Three minutes to go of the first half, and England, who scored through Harry Kane, saw their advantage ruled out by Morten Hjulmand's wonder strike to level. It's not over yet. Long, long way to go for anything else to happen. And there's certainly more than enough time for more than one goal. I expect there to be more goals in this fixture. The way this game's going, it's not only on a knife edge, but it's certainly got good kind of feel about it. The energy about the game is good. Both sides want to attack, want to threaten, want to pose problems to the opposition. They want to go on the front foot, and we're seeing the advantages of that, and we're seeing the outcomes of that. Certainly. Here's Mæhle. Ball into the box. Højlund was close. Brought down by Højbjerg on the edge of the box. Was dispossessed there by Foden as Kane tries to carry it away as he's sandwiched off the ball. And Anderson back to Vestergaard. Strong from Denmark there to win the ball back from Harry Kane. And they were that deep, England, that Harry Kane trying to get forward. He was the only one up there. Here's Højlund. Gets the ball in again. Back it comes. The strike is into the hands of Pickford. It was one of those. It was travelling from Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Cut back and took the strike. Saw Hjulmand have one. And Højbjerg wanted to level things up on that front. He wanted to have one as well as England give it away through Stones again. Nicked away from Alexander-Arnold there as the ball down the left. Eriksson trying to win it back again. England really struggling here. Rice was almost dispossessed there. They're struggling to get forward. Denmark throwing a lot of that, a lot of desire and fight in their challenging so far, Denmark. They've responded really, really well in this first half, the Danish. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. I'd greatly appreciate it. Great to have you with us this afternoon for this one. First of the day, we'll have another cracker for you a bit later on. Spain taking on Italy. One of the picks of the group stages. And we watching that one with very close eyes a bit later, as one of those sides could secure qualification to the knockouts with a win. Either one of them can, after they both won their first game. 1 at a minute at the end of the first half here. Here's Harry Kane. Alexander-Arnold looking to go for the ball into the box, close down. He does well to win it back and keep England on the front foot. Here's Kane, very deep here, Harry Kane. As the ball's just recycled back to Rice. Not in a hurry, England, for the moment. Here's Alexander-Arnold, might have one of the last opportunities of the half. His cross very deep, but will find its way to Trippier on the far side. Back to Gehi. Rice. Rice lifts in. Switched out to Bukayo Saka. Not down. This is the last chance. Phil Foden over the bar. And that was the last opportunity of the half. As the minute was up and England were on the attack. The attack comes to nothing in the end, and it will be all square at the break here in Frankfurt, because England took the lead through Harry Kane with a tap into the back post as Denmark dilly-dallying on the ball give it away. But a wonder strike from Morten Hjulmand has levelled things in Frankfurt. Half-time at the Frankfurt Arena. It is Denmark 1, England 1. Analysis on the way next. Nice ball in behind for Saka. Saka looking for the cross, headed on and in. What a header by Jude Bellingham. That's a lovely bit of work. And Bellingham with a booted header. No keeper stopping that one. And that is England taking the lead with practically their first chance of the game. Welcome back to Euro 2024 live half-time in Frankfurt. It is 1-1 between Denmark and England in this group. And certainly, I would say Denmark will be the happier of the two sides at half-time, despite the scoreline being level. Denmark will feel the happier. We'll talk about and analyse the first half in a moment and talk about the stats as well. But first, let's go back to the earlier game, which we didn't have covered here on LFS for you, but we're going to cover the key points of it now. Slovenia-Serbia, pretty boring game in the first half, to be honest. Didn't really get much. The second half really came to life in the game. Slovenia took the lead through a nice finish by Zan Karnišnik at the back post into an empty net. Similar to the Kane goal in this one. Slovenia took the lead. They were literally seconds away from getting a huge victory that would get them 4 points and almost certainty for a knockout place. And a last-minute equaliser from Serbia from a corner. Luka Jovic with a lovely header into the far corner. Really good corner. Really good goal. Serbia get their first point of the tournament, and it kind of squeezes the table back again. England have that clear advantage still before kick-off. Denmark, Serbia and Slovenia all in that mix. 1 point in between the three of them, and England just that point ahead of them coming into this one tonight. And it's anybody's guess as to who could kick that second spot going into match day 3, and then third place best third, could be up for grabs as well. Denmark-England then, half-time. As I said, I think Denmark will be the happier of the two teams. They played very well in that first half. Towards the end of the first half, I think it was a pretty low-key first 10-15 minutes. Both sides just feeling each other out on the ball, not really pressing, not pushing, not throwing things forward too early on, just teasing each other. And then the first England's goal, they get a bit of good possession themselves, England. They start to feel themselves. They get themselves forward a bit more. They take an extra risk. And ultimately, they try and play down the right-hand side. Bellingham tries to find Saka. It doesn't work out. It was a nice idea by Bellingham, but we see it. Really good play. Kyle Walker was heavily involved. He played it to Saka. Saka played it into Bellingham. Bellingham tried to go for the 1-2 to give and go with Saka. Saka doesn't get near it. And Victor Christiansen, as I said, dilly-dallying. He's thinking, I'm just going to go back here, comfortably keep the possession for my team. But what he doesn't do, and it's criminal, we said all the time about defenders. Yes, he's a left wing back, so maybe a more attacking approach to the game. But when you're covering against an England player, the likes of a Saka even if he wasn't chasing you, you still have to be aware of what's coming. He was not aware of his surroundings, did not have a clue that Kyle Walker was bursting down the right flank to try and nick the ball away from him. Walker was really smart in spotting that, seeing that he was dilly-dallying on the ball, didn't know he was coming, and he burst forward, nicked it away from him, cut it back, a few deflections in there, and Harry Kane, right place, right time, finished off for 1-0. Then Harry Kane involved in the equaliser. From an England throw-in, Kane just decides, do you know what? Let's just hoof it across the pitch. Don't know why they do this, England. I've no idea what the idea was here. Harry Kane, down the left-hand side, and he just bombs it into midfield. There's not a single England player within 10 yards of where the ball ends up. Finds a Danish player, squared across to Morten Hjulmand, and he just unleashes a wonder strike. I mean, don't take it away from Denmark. The strike is absolutely incredible. But it's England making that mistake, gifting the possession to Denmark in a good area where they knock up bodies in the way. They have a clean shot at goal. Yes, it's a wonder strike, but it's a clean effort. It's a really straight effort. There's no one in the way. They're throwing legs at it, England players. They're not within enough space to try and create anything or to try and stop it, and it's really poor from England defensively. But again, really fantastic goal by Denmark, the wonder goal by Morten Hjulmand. And I think what I didn't mention there, as I was just saying the replays of the goals, so I had to talk through the goals, but what I didn't mention before the Danish goal, I think Denmark responded really well. I mean, so far in this tournament, what we've seen, and I mentioned it yesterday when I was talking, when teams take the lead, we haven't seen many take the initiative to go for the second, to kill the game off, to give themselves a bit of comfort, a bit of headroom, a bit of kind of space in the game where they've got that 2-goal lead. They can build on that, they can relax, they can take control of the game and kind of calm it down. But when a team takes the lead, the opponent that's just conceded have reacted really, really well. And that's exactly what's happened here. Denmark go behind. They don't worry about it. They calm. They deal with it. They go, do you know what? Let's relax. Let's kind of just chill out and let's play our football. And they've done really well at that in just calmly passing the ball about. They're not forced and rushed in their passing. They've taken their time and they know what exactly they need to do, and they've responded really well to going behind, and that's where the equaliser comes from. They've built a bit of pressure, they've built a bit of possession, they've grown confident in the game that they can take a few more risks themselves, the same way England did in the build-up to their goal. They got the confidence to build, and they got their equaliser, and I think they ended the first half the better of the two teams as well. They were pushing to try and take the lead in the game towards the end of that first half, Denmark, and then one or two half chances towards the end of the half. But ultimately, I'd say Denmark have probably edged the first half for me. I think England's goal comes from a Danish mistake, but it's good anticipation from Kyle Walker, so don't take that away from him. Really smart, but again, from a Danish mistake. Other than that, England have probably had two half chances out. Other than that, and both coming from Phil Foden in and around the edge of the box. And I want to talk about Phil Foden because a lot of the criticism before the game and after that result against Serbia was how he was kind of isolated in the game, wasn't played in well, wasn't involved enough in the game. That first half, we saw him where he wants to be, Phil Foden, where he should be playing for England, where he's at his best, in and around the edge of the box, in the central area, in and around the D, where he can turn on the ball and take a strike. That is what Phil Foden is all about. And we saw in a moment there, he had a lovely solo run up the middle. He can do that as well. He can run with the ball. He can carry the ball. That's what England need in those central areas. A ball carrier who can take the ball and kick the game by the scruff of the neck and charge forward with it. Get into a good area. Create a good chance. Jude Bellingham's got those abilities as well, where he can carry the ball forward for England. We haven't seen much of him in that first half. Maybe the fact that we've seen more Phil Foden, maybe that's seen Bellingham out of the game. Who knows? We will see. But it looks like Foden's taken up more of that central role, and it's interesting because a lot of the time, the average positions in the first game was very isolated in that inside left channel. Phil Foden struggling to get on the ball, struggling to get the passes, wasn't getting involved in the game as much, but he's a lot more central, a lot more involved in the game today, and he's had a few more opportunities to go with that in the moment. He had the first good opportunity of the game in that first half as well, so he's having more of an impact. But I would say for England, what I would say is, people will criticise them, and rightfully so. I think that common theme of when England go ahead, they don't take the initiative. They don't have the bottle to go, we're going to go for a second. Or they don't have the bottle to sustain a one-goal lead and stay comfortable in a game. How many times have we seen it when watching England, where they do take the lead and end up going behind, or end up conceding good chances, or end up gifting the opposition a control of the game. It's about keeping that control. And yes, they're against very good opposition in Denmark, and maybe they were lacklustre in the first game. A lot of teams were. They've upped their level for this one and they're performing at a better rate. No doubt about that from Denmark. But the same point stands. It's similar themes, similar ideas, and the same type of thing coming through from England's point of view, where they take the lead, they get that advantage, they get in front. And there's no better example of that than the Euros final in 2020 at Wembley. They took an early lead, they really kind of settled in the game, but they lost control of it. Italy got their leveller and ended up winning on penalties, ultimately. But it's the same technique, it's the same idea 3 years later. They take the lead, and they kind of like, oh, what do we do? We're 1-0 up, what do we do about this? And they end up conceding control of the game. They set a lot deeper, they step off the ball. I said at times, they were struggling to get the ball into midfield because they're so deep. Denmark were allowed to pin them in, and they just didn't find they weren't expansive enough when they took the lead to kind of push Denmark back. They were afraid, and that fear is really going to cause England a lot of trouble. If they're going to continue in this fashion in this tournament, they're going to struggle, because Denmark are not one of the best teams they're going to come up against if they get into the latter stages. That I'm certain of that. If they come up against a Spain or an Italy or even a France or a Germany, they will tear them apart in those moments, because when you give them the advantage, when you give them the control, they will take it and they will punish you. And that is the worry, I would say, from an England point of view, is the fact that they kind of wrestled that control away, or Denmark wrestled that control away from them, and maybe too easily so. Would be a worry. And the frustration of England fans probably validated in seeing that first half, not only in this game, but also from the first game of the tournament. But it's not all bad, because as it stands, even with a draw, England would still remain top. They would still remain 2 points ahead of their nearest rivals, which would be Denmark, in second as it stands. And they would have a clear path to finding a top spot if they win against Slovenia on match day 3. So it's not all doom and gloom, but we still have another half of football to go. And if Denmark get a goal, well, that really does put the cat amongst the pigeons in this group. Right, second half on the way from Frankfurt in just a couple of minutes. Do stay with us. Welcome back to Euro 2025, or 2025, Euro 2024, live on LFS. Our first game of the day between Denmark and England. Half-time, it is 1-1 between the two sides. As I said before, 3 of the 4 previous games in match day 2 so far have all ended in draws. Only Germany, the only team winning on match day 2 so far. So it's not only this game that's tight, it's close, it's in the balance. And that is what we love at this tournament. Anybody can put a real task and ask a lot of questions of anybody, no matter the quality, and that's what makes it so exciting and so entertaining. Those England fans will feel the nerves. They will be a bit nervous. Denmark will be probably buoyed by that first half, but know that maybe they should have more of an advantage. But a 1-1 draw at half-time is not an unfair scoreline, I would say, but certainly England holding on to that draw and Denmark just unlucky not to have more than just the draw. That's what I would say in terms of the balance of things. That's why I said Denmark maybe just edged it for me in that first half. We're almost ready to go. Denmark kicking from left to right in the second half. England right to left, so both sides attacking the opposition fans in the second period. And we will see how both teams react to that first half, how they respond to that first half. I'd say England need more of a response than Denmark. I think Denmark continue the way they ended that first half. They can get an advantage and they can sustain that in this second half. It's about England and how they respond. They took the lead. They conceded last. They were the ones that faltered the lead, and it's all about them responding to retake that lead in this game. What kind of mentality and initiative do they have in this second half that can show that? We will of course see as the half goes on. No changes at half time, by the way, so nothing that concerned either head coach there, although that's not great from Walker. He's played it straight out of play there to try and find Saka. Denmark will get the throw on the left. I think Denmark do need to try and incorporate a bit more Rasmus Højlund in this second half. He has been mostly involved in probably build-up plays, not really got in behind, not really tested the England centre-backs going running forward as much. That's nice down the right hand side from Vind. Here is Hoyland. Involved, cuts it back for Vind. Shot takes a deflection. Hoyland was close, but Stones got up for the header to get it away. And then the ball comes flying down into the hands of Jordan Pickford. But decent there from Denmark. Down that right hand side. Really nice between Vind and Müller. Linking up there, and they almost had an advantage in the box there, Denmark, to start the half, as Alexander-Arnold just shoved off the ball by Højbjerg. And England getting the free kick, which wasn't to the appease of the Danish players or the fans. Bellingham. Rice. Again, no time and space on the ball, Declan Rice. Very, very committed from Denmark. Højbjerg. Eriksen. Back to Hjulmand. Now Højbjerg, which will give Denmark a bit of control. That's where I felt that Denmark let themselves down against Slovenia. They didn't do that enough in midfield. They weren't committed, weren't aggressive enough in midfield. The two centre midfielders, Højbjerg and Hjulmand, I mentioned at the start of this game, I felt they underperformed in that first one. I thought I was expecting a lot more of a physical struggle, real battle with the Slovenia players. They didn't show that. They're starting to show that aggressive nature in this game, and that's much more exciting. Kane. Saka. Down the right, just about linking up with Walker. Back to Harry Kane. A nice Saka again. Nice in between the lines there from Saka. Kane again. Back to Walker as it comes back to Stones. And England wrestling back possession of the ball here. Rice to Foden. Declan Rice. To Stones. Walker. Alexander-Arnold. Rice. Again, Alexander-Arnold. Some of those passes, I have to say, from England, they're a bit kind of panicky. It's just like they're passing it around, trying to gain a bit of kind of touches on the ball, but at the same time, you need a bit of something ahead of you. Try and get the ball forward. Try and find a forward pass. The inventiveness has just been zapped out of England, really. The creativity has really struggled. They've been quite lethargic on the ball. Bellingham trying to win it back again. Battled back against, and he went down wanting a foul, but the referee said no, it was fair. And I would tend to agree with that. Christiansen. Bellingham still annoyed at the referee there as he gets back to his feet, trudges back to his feet. Hjulmand, as Denmark continuing with their passing. Müller. He's had a lot of involvement from wide areas, Joachim Müller, so far. It's been a really good change. It was Denmark's only change from that first game, and it's looked to worked out really well so far in that moment. Getting a lot more width down that right hand side. A lot of wide play, which is really nice. Højlund trying to link up with Eriksen there. Eriksen closed down. Back to Müller. And I find Hjulmand in the middle. Bellingham just holds off well. Finds Alexander-Arnold, who gets on his bike here. And it's a 4-on-3 for England. Alexander-Arnold on the charge. Let's find it out to Foden. Bit of time for Denmark to recover there. That was nice from Alexander-Arnold. Taking that run forward, taking the ball and just carried it forward. Said how England need that. There was an example of it. Here's Saka. Charging towards the byline. Chips it across. Back post. Foden takes it down. Not given time to get the second touch as Denmark clear it away. Guehi recycles. Back to Trippier. Better from England. Round the corner. Run from Bellingham into the box. Turning back around again. Still holding on. Back out wide to Trippier. Now Rice to shoot, and Rice. Look, that was in slow-mo there, that strike. And it did take a slight deflection and find Kasper Schmeichel's hands. Took a long time for that strike to find a way through. Wasn't massive pace behind it. It was charged down initially. There was a lovely closed down challenge there from Højlund, which took real pace off it. Allowed it to bundle back to Schmeichel. The Danish keeper, Danish captain as well. Hjulman there tried to go for the through ball. Højlund not on the same page. Didn't make the run. England recover the ball. That was a promising moment there for England there in the last moment or two. All started by Alexander-Arnold taking that initiative and just charging forward with the ball. Getting on the ball, having the space ahead of you and just carrying it forward up the pitch. That's what England really struggled with in that first half. Towards the end of it, they weren't getting the ball to those midfielders that can carry it, that can get it forward, that can invent something. Alexander-Arnold again, over the top this time, trying to find Saka. A bounce to the header is off the side netting. But that was better. Nice ball in behind by Alexander-Arnold. Well made run by Bukayo Saka. Bouncing ball just ahead of Saka the first time. Lets it bounce, it up in the air it goes, and Saka got the header just ahead of Schmeichel and could have caused a problem there for Denmark as the Danish captain collided with Christiansen there. It just went wide and into the side netting from Saka's header there, which saw it go for a goal kick. That was better from England once again. That's what I mean about initiative. Taking a chance, playing a ball in behind, making a run in behind, doing something that moves the game, that changes the dynamics, that doesn't keep this rigid structure, that doesn't have them just passing it sideways and backwards. Something different to invent an attacking moment in the game. They have the creativity and they have the players to do so. Højlund there again, offside, just not getting himself back onside enough in this. I think that's the third time he's been called offside in the game, Rasmus Højlund. So England are going to make a change again, and it's going to be Alexander-Arnold who's coming off. And Conor Gallagher is coming on, and Alexander-Arnold, who at the start of the second half here has probably been England's most creative player. 2 good passes that got England into a good area, and he's taken off there. Conor Gallagher on the pitch. We'll see what difference that will make for England. I genuinely don't understand that decision. I think Alexander-Arnold's been really good so far for England in those moments. Gareth Southgate wants something different in the game, and let's see what happens out of that. Back it comes to Pickford. Pops it up front. Kane does connect. Heads it back to Bellingham, who brings it down in the space. That's lovely from Bellingham. Breaks past his marker. Out wide it goes to Foden. Does take the touch. Back round the corner to Bellingham, who continued his run. Cuts it back into the box, and no chances taken there by Højbjerg, I think it was, and it just goes firing behind. Will be an England corner. Sorry, an England throw-in. Down their left-hand side. Trippier to take. A few attempts there from England. Get up the pitch. Get forward. Starting to find a few spaces in the middle where they can carry the ball forward on 1 or 2 occasions, which has got them up the pitch a bit better. Stones to Gallagher. Walker. Saka. Down the right hand side, Bukayo Saka up against Christiansen. Gets back, nice chop back, finds Phil Foden off the post, and the follow up there almost found by Saka, but goes flying behind for a goal kick. But very good opportunity there from Phil Foden. Takes the touch. Lovely pass by Saka. And I said about how Phil Foden, edge of the box in those central areas, is at his best. That's another example of it. Edge of the box, central area, has a strike that just comes off the woodwork. But a very good chance there for England. The referee just having a chat with 1 or 2 players. They're going to make 2 changes here, it seems. Denmark. Alexander Ba and Mikkel Damsgaard are going to come on. And it's going to be Jonas Vind who's going to come off for Damsgaard. And the substitution that was their only change of the from the first game, the man that came off, Alexander Ba, is going to come on for Victor Christiansen. So Ba on for Christiansen. And Jonas Vind off, replaced by Mikkel Damsgaard, who scored that wonderful free kick against England in the Euro 2020 semi-final to open the scoring at Wembley. Both sides having made changes, looking for a few tweaks. Let's see which one comes out the better. Long ball forward there by Vestergaard and Ba, who tried to keep it in play. Ball just went over the sideline. Throw into England. Denmark have only won 4 of their 22 games against England, compared to 13 victories for England. The Danes, of course, were victorious in the fixture before the 2021 semi-final. Eriksen's 35th minute penalty earned a 1-0 success at Wembley in the Nations League in October 2020 for Denmark. Damsgaard involved. Chopped back. Eriksen was arriving, but cleared away by Rice. Out of the danger zone. That was good from Denmark. Lovely from Mikkel Damsgaard, the substitute, instantly making an impact. Getting involved up the pitch. Ba, long throw into the box. Flicked away by Rice that time. Fully cleared up the pitch by England. As Joachim Andersen got a bit of a muddle there and couldn't get his feet under control. He's nicked the ball away here. Or England, and Kane with a lovely ball forward. Saka making that run down the right hand side. He's got Foden in the middle. Saka trying to swerve around 1 and 2, and has the shot that goes well wide. That was better from England. Lovely ball by Harry Kane. Sprayed out wide to Saka, who was making that threat, stretching the Denmark defence, pushing them back, pinning them back. That was another good effort from England. And another good area. Saka couldn't find the finish on that one. Just seeing a replay of Foden's earlier chance as well. That win against England, by the way, back in the October 2020 was Christian Eriksen and Simon Kjær's 100th cap for Denmark. They won in that match. Very experienced Christian Eriksen, who scored the first goal in Denmark's game on match day 1. Here's Saka down the right, trying to pull it back for Bellingham, who was in there, but cleared away again by Denmark. Certainly posing a threat, England, in those moments. Starting to threaten, they're starting to push on the front foot more and get a bit more joy out of it. Walker, unforced error, giving it away to Denmark and trying to win it back. Commits the foul on Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Another unforced error, just not necessary. Just not a good pass at all from Walker. Højbjerg does well to win the ball. 30 to go in Frankfurt. Free kick for Denmark here. Christian Eriksen over it, wide on the left-hand side. Can he find the delivery? Eriksen, right-footed, very low. Terrible. Hit the first England man in the way there. Saka, right in the face, but takes it like a trooper there. Saka doesn't go down. Although we would want him to go down if he was injured, obviously. Well, that's a poor kick by Schmeichel. He was out of his goal there. England didn't want to take the advantage. Kane steps in and commits another foul. A bit late that time, Harry Kane, and he's going to get a yellow card. Or sorry, Conor Gallagher that got the yellow card. Harry Kane was there. It was Gallagher that gets the yellow card for that late challenge. Gallagher there. Not long on the pitch, on a yellow card. So a free kick for Denmark here. In their own half, so not much threat on it. Here's Vestergaard. Christensen. Mæhle, who swapped out to the left-hand side, with Ba on the right-hand side for Denmark. Swapped those wing-backs, interestingly. Damsgaard. Back to Højbjerg. To Eriksen as Denmark not getting it forward there in that moment. Not much space. England very compacted in that area. Pinged forward out from the back by Vestergaard, who tried the ball in behind, and referee's played advantage here for Denmark. There was a handball in there, but he's played the advantage. Denmark keep possession. Ba over the top, looking for the run of Damsgaard. He was just dispossessed there by Declan Rice. Good challenge. Rice. Flicked on by Bellingham, but again intercepted in the middle by Denmark. Højbjerg. Overstepping it was Rice, and now the strike is over the bar from Christian Eriksen. But again, a few worrying moments there for England. Just caught in possession again. Second balls and just not perfect from that. Rice just tried to slide challenge it. Højlund did well to battle back and won the ball. Played it to Eriksen, and Eriksen had the strike. It's in the balance, this one. Anybody's game. Stones. Guehi back to Trippier. Back to Mark Guehi now. Walker. Down the line to Saka. Now Bellingham, back to Saka, now back to Walker. All the way back to Pickford. He wants to push them up the pitch. He's telling his team to move up the pitch. They're too deep, and England not responding to that from their keeper. Rice. Here they come now with Walker. He's got space to break down the right-hand side. Across to Bellingham. Lovely from Bellingham. Runs into Mikkel Damsgaard, though. That's not a foul. He runs straight into Damsgaard. Damsgaard won the ball, but ball forward to Højlund. Dispossessed. Guehi trying to commit himself forward. Hjulman does well to ride a few challenges. Got very scrappy for a moment there. Walker picks up the ball. Out wide it goes to Saka. Saka making that diagonal run in field. Saka with a lifted ball. Too much on that one. Over the top. And out for an easy catch there for Kasper Schmeichel in the end. Well, there's only been one previous meeting between these two in a Euros finals. That came in 1992. A goalless draw in Malmö, and the competition was in Sweden that year. That was on match day 1 of the group stages. England bowed out, having failed to win any game, any of their 3 games in the group stages that time round. Drew 2, lost 1. Denmark finished second in the group behind host Sweden. Beat holders Netherlands 5-4 on penalties before a 2-2 draw in the semi-final. After a 2-2 draw in the semi-final, before defeating world champions Germany 2-0 in the final to claim the championship for themselves. They were the champions in 1992. Denmark. They would take a draw against England here if it was to get them another European Championship victory. And claiming, although that's really poor from England again. Declan Rice, unforced error. Putting it straight out for a Denmark corner. That's really poor. Substitution incoming though for the moment. And it's going to be... trying to see who that is. It's Yusuf Poulsen, I believe. It is. Yusuf Poulsen's going to come on. He's going to replace Rasmus Højlund. So some fresh legs up front for Denmark. Yusuf Poulsen on and Rasmus Højlund off. So both centre forwards that started the game for Denmark, Vind and Højlund, off and have been replaced now. Just before this Denmark corner here. Eriksen will take in a moment. On that right hand side. Lots in there to try and get on the end of. Eriksen to deliver. Lifted into the box. Bounced all the way through. Damsgaard up for the challenge. Brought down by Hjulmand. Now Damsgaard! Was a driving effort, but Jordan Pickford in the way of it to gather. That was some force on that strike, but Jordan Pickford seen it coming all the way and gathered. It's a nice volley by Mikkel Damsgaard. Strength on it. Pickford has it back again. Trippier very deep in his own half. Push up here England to get out. Good pressure from Denmark to win it back. Højbjerg under pressure. Good work from Ba to recycle it back round. There's two players on the floor there. As Christensen comes forward. Trying to find Müller on the left, but just too much ahead of Müller. Goes out for the England throw. And they're going to make changes, I think, here, England. Again, it's Conor Gallagher again, who's flying into that challenge and has to be careful. Not on the pitch very long, and he's already got a yellow card. Changes incoming for England then. So, coming off is going to be Phil Foden. He's going to make way. Jared Bowen is going to be his replacement. So, Foden for Bowen. 3 changes incoming here. Second change for England. It's going to be Harry Kane. He's going to come off. The goal scorer for England so far. He's going to be replaced by Watkins. And Saka is going to be the third change. And Ebere Eze is going to be the one coming on. So 3 attacking changes for England. And practically the 3 most forward players all coming off. Saka, Kane and Foden. All replaced by Bowen, Watkins and Eze. 3 very good players at their clubs this season. Bowen with West Ham, Watkins at Aston Villa. And of course Ebere Eze at Crystal Palace. All lighting up the club football in the Premier League. And they would want to have an impact for their country in the European Championships. Bellingham seen off the ball there. Eze will win the free kick. We've got time to make an impact here, these changes. There's 20 minutes to go. More than enough time for them to get involved and have an impact. Trippier. Back to Guehi. Across the stones. Rice. Possession's been about 50-50. Not much in the shots either. 12 shots for Denmark, 10 for England. 5 on target for the Danes, and 3 for England. So not very much to separate the two sides on all those stats. Well, that's given away again. The ball out wide to Müller, picked up by Walker. Lays it off to Bowen, who's charged down, and England will get the throw in out of that. Walker takes quickly. Gallagher. Walker. Back to Stones. Gallagher. Nice ball down the line to Walker again. Bellingham. Need to move it a bit quicker, England. They're going to threaten. Rice. To Ebere Eze. Now Bellingham. Threaded through the lines. Watkins made the run. Big save by Schmeichel to parry it behind for the corner. But that was lovely. Watkins made the run, timed to perfection. In behind, Vestergaard just stepped off his defence there. He was the one claiming offside, he played him on. Watkins made the run in behind, lovely run. And from the tight angle, sees his shot saved by Schmeichel and went behind for the corner. That was lovely from Bellingham. And a nice effort by Watkins from the really clever run. Corner for England. Right hand side. Left footed delivery. Headed away at the front post by Højbjerg. Trippier to recycle it back for England. Gallagher trying to understate that one to Eze. And now the counter attack is on here. Eriksson leading the charge. Gallagher can't commit too much. Here's Poulsen. Cuts it back. Finds Eriksson. Trying to lift it into the middle. Charged down well by Gallagher there. He's making up for his initial mistake. But Denmark keep the ball. Eriksson. Squared across now. Finds Anderson. Bah. Anderson. Vestergaard. Gets it from Christensen. Here's Yannick Vestergaard. Down the left-hand side comes Joachim Mæhle. Lovely round the corner. Højbjerg with a strike from distance. Shot saved by Pickford. Rebound coming. Mæhle putting in the challenge. It will be a free kick and a yellow card for Joachim Mæhle with a late one there. Free kick to England and Joachim Mæhle. One to be booked. Again, trying to test from distance there was Højbjerg. That's where Denmark's goal came from distance. Pickford down to his right, taking no risks. He's parrying it away. And then they won the free kick there. Bowen tackled pretty cynically there by Joachim Mæhle, and that got the Danish wing back the yellow card. One ball forward by England, but controlled by Denmark. Although pipped away by Watkins and couldn't pose as much of a threat, but he will get the corner out of it, Ollie Watkins. So might not have got the ball for a shooting opportunity, but he will get them a corner. And since coming onto the pitch, Ollie Watkins making those runs in behind, getting involved much higher up, having that kind of target man idea up front for England, is changing the dynamics here. And he's making an impact since he's come on about 4 or 5 minutes ago. England with another corner off the right. Left-footed delivery. Headed away at the front post again by Højbjerg. Got a very clean connection on that one. Blasted away out for the throw-in. A good distance out. Taken by Walker down the line. It comes. Bowen couldn't keep it in play. Denmark will get the throw-in there. Don't forget another big game to come for you later this evening. In Group B, Spain take on Italy tonight from 8, which would see Spain, after their 3-0 thrashing of Croatia on match day 1, Italy with their more narrow scoreline of a 2-1 win against Albania. One of those will have the chance, if they could win, would qualify for the round of 16. Either one of those two later this evening. If you don't want to miss a single thing, do like, subscribe and turn on post notifications, and also follow us on socials as well, on X, Instagram and TikTok. All the links and handles you need are in the live video description. Do hit a follow over there and you'll not miss a single thing of Euro 2024. Pickford bombing one forward. Less than 15 minutes to go here in Frankfurt. Bowen with the advantage there to get the ball forward, but he will not get the chance to run forward because it's going to be a free kick to Denmark. Yannick Vestergaard just... I mean, there's nothing in that for me. Vestergaard making an absolute meal of that. And he does get the free kick out of it. Bit fortunate, I feel. I think there was a foul in there from Bowen. Switch ball out to Ba for Denmark from that free kick. Nice take by Hjulmand. Finds Eriksson. Back to Højbjerg. Looks to go for distance again, but that one bobbling its way through into the hands of Pickford. Certainly an idea from Denmark to try and target from distance. A couple of shots from distance outside the box. Quite a lot of goals have come from outside the box in this tournament so far, which has been fascinating to kind of analyse so far in the game, or in the tournament up to this point. Guehi battling back there against Yusuf Poulsen, who felt he was fouled there. Felt he was tugged, Poulsen, but there's nothing in that. Guehi standing strong, defending well, and seeing England out there for the goal kick. Yeah. Don't know about that. It's not a foul. Pickford to go for the long kick once more. Watkins was the target. Anderson got there ahead of him and will head it back to Kasper Schmeichel. He will try and get Denmark on the front foot now. From deep. Vestergaard just got away with that. Nicked it forward to find Hjulmand. Out wide to Ba. Is there a winning goal in this one? Ba's ball forward was too over hit. Pickford will gather and get England going forward quickly. Rice. Gallagher. To Walker. Stones. Is it? In between the lines, trying to bomb one forward. One for Watkins to chase. And he just tried to keep it in there, but just slightly overhit. Just outrun him there, Ollie Watkins. Nice idea from Eza. We've seen one or two long-range efforts from Højbjerg. Both denied by Jordan Pickford so far, so... But as I said, it was clearly an idea. It's where the Danish goal came from. It's something they've tried to exploit, something they've tried to target, but I don't think that's going to happen again. They're going to get a chance like they did for that first goal again. I would be shocked if they do. 11 minutes of the game to go. Denmark 1, England 1. In Group C, England could qualify for the round of 16 and finish top of the group if they can get 3 points here. A point keeps the group quite nicely poised heading into match day 3. It would see England on 4 points, Denmark on 2, Slovenia on 2, and Serbia on 1, with Denmark to face Serbia on the final day and England and Slovenia to play each other on match day 3, which would set it up quite nicely. Guehi's ball forward. Fully dealt with as it's headed away. And brought down again nicely in the middle by Denmark. Certainly having space in and around the midfield now, Denmark. But the fact that England have committed more forward, their forwards have come in a more higher up area. It's not as congested in that area, and Denmark are finding a bit more joy in there. But that's actually not down to the fact that Harry Kane's not in there, and I'm making it more congested. But the likes of a Foden and Foden and Bellingham and Kane congesting that area. It's actually the fact that the England midfield that remains, the likes of a Rice, Bellingham, and Gallagher, just haven't closed down the space as well. They haven't pressed like their forwards have since the substitutions. It's leaving those spaces in there, in between the lines, where Denmark can get those advantages, can find the spaces, and can get their midfielders on the ball. Stones goes for the long one. Easily headed down by Anderson. And again into that midfield area. But that's good pressing by Bellingham that time. Wins it back off Hjulmand. Infield is Bowen. Try to find Watkins there, but Vestergaard just kind of panics and miskicks it. Goes out for an England throw on the right hand side. I have to say, I'm not trying to target Yannick Vestergaard, but I think he has kind of wobbled a bit in the last 10 minutes or so. Since getting that yellow card, he's kind of... Sorry, he got the yellow card in the first half. Since kind of England made those changes and those runners in behind have come on, he's kind of struggled a slight bit more. Denmark are going to make a double change here, and one of their changes is going to be their goal scorer, Morten Hjulmand, with a wonder strike in the first half from 30 yards, levelling the game for Denmark. It was a wonderful effort that sent the sea of red behind that goal erupting in the first half. He's been taken off alongside Christian Eriksen, and they've been replaced by Christian Norgard. One of those changes. And the other, Andreas Skov Olsen, is the other change. So a double change there for Denmark. And that means they've made all 5 of their changes. So this will be the Denmark team that will end the game. England have made 4 changes. They can still make 1 more. It's given away again by England. Olsen. Ba to Skov Olsen. And a flick it back for Alexander Ba, but just to skip that. That's lovely from Ba. Catches Gay on the ball. Ba's got bodies in the middle, and that's wonderful recovery run from Mark Gurhey. Made the mistake, got back and made up for it. Great defending in the end, ultimately. Skov Olsen just kind of didn't work it. Yeah, I have to say the pass was just a bit short from Rice. Back to Gurhey. Gurhey tried to take it in a stride past it. Alexander Ba catches him there. Nicks the ball away, and really good recovery from Gurhey to put it behind for the corner and deny them a clear goal scoring opportunity there, Denmark. Skov Olsen to take the corner. Left footed delivery. All the way through, and there was a connection in there. Well over the bar. But that was another good chance for Denmark there. It was Christensen, I think. Trying to see. It looks to be Andreas Christensen. It was. Swiped the right leg at it, and it just kind of flew over the bar. He was leaning back there. Better from Damsgaard. And they're in again, Denmark. They're pushing here. Lay it on. The strike is just wide. And punches the floor. Does Pierre-Emile Højbjergen's frustration. Gareth Southgate calling for focused minds from his team. But Denmark are on the push here late on, and are having a few very good opportunities in the last 10 minutes of this game to try and find that ultimate winning goal that would be huge for them. Remember, a win for Denmark would mean they would go above England, top the group heading into the final day on 4 points, and would all but secure their top 2 positions for this group. An England win would qualify them clearly top of this group, so a win for either side would be monumentous, as we have 5 minutes plus additional time for that to be possibly found. And it's certainly Denmark that has been pushing in the last few minutes to try and find that crucial second goal. Stones with a long ball forward. Anderson won the header again against Bellingham. Brought down by Damsgaard. Mela looking forward. Closely followed by Bowen and Bellingham, but does win it back. Gets it in the midfield. Lovely ball out wide. No one there running. Although the chase will be on here, but the ball would run out of play against Alexander Ba. They tried to spray it out to the right hand side there, Denmark, and there was no one high up on the right flank. Just allows England to recover and get the throw in their own half. Although that's where Denmark's equalising goal came from. Throw in from England in their own half. This one, Trippier's going to try and throw up the pitch and get them on the front foot, get them forward. Throws it down the line and intercepted by Denmark. They win the first ball and the second ball. But England just about with that head tennis getting involved. Bringing it down does Gallagher. Taken down there was Conor Gallagher, and a yellow card come out there for Christian Norgard. Free kick for England. Still time left. Chris says this is so boring. Well, it's on a knife edge is what it is. A winning goal will be huge. Both sides tentative it seems, but Denmark certainly promising, certainly positive in their approach. England's runners, those forwards that came on about 15 minutes ago, they've had their bright spell and they've kind of not continued in the same fashion and threatening in behind. I think Denmark have just come to terms with what England were trying to do. Looks like they've ridden that slight mini storm and are pushing for a possible winner here. Have it at the back here with Vestergaard. And for that long ball forward again. Diving into midfield there was Gerhi, and he'll win the free kick out of it. Poulsen was involved there. It was better pressing from England. They kept Denmark holding the possession in their back three, and they had to go long to try and find someone. It was good pressing in those spaces. It's going to be Jordan Pickford that's going to take the free kick on the halfway line. This is a bold move by England, but it might just pay off. 2 minutes plus the additional time to go. Pickford to take the free kick just in his own half, literally on the wrong, just in his own half, the other side of the halfway line as he takes it short. Fizzed into the box, but far too overhit from Kyle Walker there. That's really poor. Comes to nothing. And with a chance for a bold statement to be made, it comes to nothing. See Cole Palmer on the bench. Anthony Gordon's there as well. But at the point, I wouldn't make the point that, oh, Cole Palmer should be getting on her. Cole Palmer should be involving in this game. Gareth Southgate's made changes. There can't be any complaints that he's kept his team that he started, or he's not making changes, he's not getting other players involved. He's gone for a very different profile of a front three from the one he started with. You know, is a ball carrier, is a very technical player. Bowen's that as well on that right hand side. But the difference in their striker, England, has really changed their attack since coming on. Ollie Watkins making those runs in behind that Kane wasn't making in the game. Harry Kane just was coming deeper, trying to play the ball forward for a wide player, and it wasn't really working in moments for England at times. Watkins created a bit of a different dynamic that Denmark had to deal with. They seem to have come to terms with it. But I don't think the criticism for Gareth Southgate can be that he hasn't made changes. Maybe he's not made the right ones. There's an argument there. That maybe England needed something different. He's certainly got a lot of quality on the bench, and we can talk all day about the quality players on the bench. But maybe, just maybe at the moment, they've just been well matched by a very good opponent here in Frankfurt. As it was pulled down there, will be another free kick. Joachim Andersen there committing the foul. Crystal Palace teammates, those two. Andersen and Eze know each other well. 3 added minutes at the end of the 90. And if you were a betting person, I don't think you would bet on a late goal, but we've seen a couple of late ones. Late equalisers they've been, but late goals indeed. Albania yesterday against Croatia to equalise in the 95th minute. We're seeing Serbia today score late to level things against Slovenia. Is there a late goal to come here that would be more momentous, that it could be a winning, would be a winning goal? Free kick from England there, popped up into the box again, but well cleared by Denmark. Norgard trying to get forward, and Poulsen was taken down there by Gerhi, but it's going to go the opposite way. Poulsen deemed to have committed the foul, and the referee's just given the free kick to England here. Yeah, it is a foul on Gerhi from Poulsen. He commits himself right across him. It is a lazy foul there by Yusuf Poulsen. Chris says, are you covering Spain-Italy game? Yes, we are indeed here at LFS. You'll not want to miss it. 8 o'clock kickoff. Around about an hour's time we'll be live for that one. Pickford to take this free kick. Out to the right-hand flank, but again cleared away by England and cleared away by Denmark from England. So it comes all the way back to Pickford and try and get England going again. Out to the right-hand side it comes. 1 minute to go. Time is running out for England or Denmark here. As Mela picks it up, finds Norgard. Is there one more chance? One more shot at goal to come. Baz long ball forward. Looking for the run of Skov Olsen there, but again another challenge, another late foul. Trippier this one that was fouled. And it will be a free kick. Seeing the sets of fans there. Bit of a contrast between the two sets of fans. The Danes maybe just the happier of the two at the moment. It's Pickford. Oh, forced into that long one. Poulsen was pressing in. Does get it away. Ball forward. Bellingham. Now Eza. Eza on the edge of the box. Squares it across. Waiting for Bowen, but well dealt with by Mela to clear. Still another opportunity here. Rice. Stones. So one last chance for England. Walker. Back to John Stones. They need to move it quickly because 3 minutes are up. That's it. Final whistle in Frankfurt. And a point apiece between Denmark and England. That will carry us to a very finely poised group into match day 3. Both games ending 1-1 in Group C today. The first, Slovenia and Serbia with a 1-1 draw, and Denmark coming back from behind against Harry Kane's goal to put England ahead with a lovely effort by Morten Hjulmand to get Denmark on level terms. Both goals scored in the first half. The same result in 90 minutes as they did the last time they met in a Euros, which was in 2021 in the semi-finals. This time it ends 1-1 and a point apiece in the group. England remain top and within touching distance of the round of 16. They could have claimed that and top spot as well if they'd have won. Denmark would have took top spot if they'd have won. But a draw and a sharing of the points in Frankfurt. Both sides very evenly matched. Final score, Denmark 1, England 1. And there we are. The first half saw it all again. Second half that had so much to deliver, but didn't deliver very much. Both sides a bit more tentative in the second half. But I do still think Denmark edged it in terms of performance-wise. England did step back, did kind of fall away. They made those changes to try and change things, but in the end, the defences come out on top in the second half and denied another goal to come. So, both games today, 1-1 draws. And we've one more to come for you a bit later on. About an hour's time, we'll be heading to Group B for an exciting game between Spain and Italy in Gelsenkirchen at the Veltins Arena, where Schalke play their games. And Gelsenkirchen, the venue for this cracker game between Spain and Italy. 8 o'clock kickoff, and you can watch it live with live commentary here on LFS. For now, see you shortly.